So, hello, my name is Mads. I'm the lead engineer of the most awesome Edge platform team in the LEGO group. The Edge platform team is a very new team in LEGO. Our task is to deliver stateful services on a new platform at our manufacturing sites. Now, these services that we are delivering are actually somewhat operational already in these sites, but we are building on a new platform. When leading a new team and when having this new team deliver these things, we have the challenge of how to make sure we prioritize some of these things that are very hard to put in a backlog or on a Jira board. So for instance, how do we make sure that this thing we deliver is reliable? How do we make sure that we can operate the thing? And how do we make sure that these things are relevant to our users? So I'll come up with some simple things you can do. But one thing I want to make clear is that simple doesn't necessarily mean low effort. So as an example, when I wanted to practice running a bit more, I came up with a simple mechanism where I made the agreement with myself that I would only listen to my favorite weekly podcast whenever I was running. So now I had a simple thing. Didn't mean that running became easy, but it meant I had a simple way of making sure I got out running. So let's take the first tip. This is an oldie but goodie. If you're doing Scrum by the book, you already know this. Make sure to involve your end users in your internal demos. This could be your Scrum demos, but it could also be any demo. The important thing is that you show your work early and that you involve your end users. This is terrifying because you will need to show people some stuff that's not completely polished, but it's a great way of making sure that you get the right user feedback from actual users. So you know the thing about when you get a nice Norse hammer, things starts looking like nails. And for the next two things, well, I have a thing right now that I really like to promote, and this is kind of my hammer these days. And the thing is chaos engineering. So you've probably heard about chaos engineering, but just in case you haven't, yes, it does say chaos in the name, but actually it's a bit more of a science. And some of the core things we do in chaos engineering is that you set up a hypothesis about how you believe things will act. In particular, when you poke it with a very large stick. That stick is the experiment that you're going to be performing. Then you perform your experiment, gather feedback, and then you see what actually happened. So, back to that thing about setting up the experiment and how we actually make sure to ensure that our things are reliable. Well, we can't, but what we can do is to involve our users in the setup of these experiments, because then we can, together with our end users, actually talk about what reliability means. We can talk about what's actually good enough, because maybe they don't need those last nines of uptime. And working out an experiment is a very, very good way of providing a safe space where we can talk about what reliability actually means. It's also encourage you to ask some curious questions and actually learn about your systems. Last but not least, third tip, experiment as you would operate. And with this, I mean, when you then do your experiment and you want to observe your systems, make sure to use your actual tools, the tools that you will be using whenever that incident hits you. Also, if there are systems that you need to monitor that is not accessible for you, take this opportunity to actually engage with the different teams that will be supporting you in production. Because now when things goes down at 3 o'clock in the night, you actually know who to call and how to operate this thing. Okay, that was my talk.